Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Joe Rogan Experience. Today, we have a very special guest. He's a warrior, a leader, and a survivor in the harsh world of the post-apocalyptic Mojave Wasteland. Please give a warm welcome to Caesar, the leader of Caesar's Legion.
Thank you, Joe. It's an honor to be here.
So, Caesar, there's been a lot of talk about the upcoming Second Battle of Hoover Dam. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes. The Second Battle of Hoover Dam will be a defining moment in the history of the Mojave Wasteland. It will determine the fate of our great nation and decide who will rule over it. The NCR, the New California Republic, and my Legion have been at odds for a long time, and this battle will be the culmination of that conflict.
It sounds intense. What do you think the outcome will be?
I have faith that my Legion will emerge victorious. We have been preparing for this battle for a long time, and our warriors are ready to fight and die for the glory of the Legion. The NCR may have more soldiers, but they lack the discipline and the strength of my Legion.
But what about the people of the Mojave? What will happen to them after the battle?
The people of the Mojave will become part of the Legion. They will be assimilated into our culture, and they will benefit from our rule. We will bring order and stability to the region, and we will create a new civilization based on strength, discipline, and honor.
It's definitely a different kind of society than what we're used to, but I can see the appeal of order and stability in a world like yours. Now, Caesar, there have been rumors about a legendary figure known as the Burned Man. Can you tell us more about him?
I don't know what you're talking about, Joe.
Come on, Caesar. I've heard stories about the Burned Man being your top general and a key player in your Legion's victories. Is there any truth to these rumors?
The Burned Man is a figure of legend, a myth that my soldiers tell each other to inspire them. But he is not a real person. There is no such thing as the Burned Man.
Okay, I see, but if he did exist, what would make him such a formidable warrior?
If the Burned Man were real, he would be a man of great strength and courage, a warrior without fear or remorse. He would have been burned alive, a punishment for his failures, but he survived and rose from the ashes, stronger and more determined than ever before.
That's quite a story. Do you think the Burned Man will play a role in the Second Battle of Hoover Dam?
I cannot say for certain. The Burned Man is a myth, Joe. He is not real. But if he were, I suppose he could be a powerful asset in battle.
I understand. Well, whether the Burned Man is real or not, your Legion seems to be a force to be reckoned with. What do you see as the future of the Mojave Wasteland under your rule?
The future is bright, Joe. With the NCR defeated, we will bring order and stability to the region. We will create a new civilization based on the principles of strength, discipline, and honor. And who knows, perhaps one day, the Burned Man will be a part of that future as well.
That's an ambitious vision, Caesar. And speaking of your Legion, I wanted to ask you about your legate, Lanius. He's been described as a brutal and ruthless warrior, even by your own standards. What do you think of him?
Lanius is a force to be reckoned with, Joe. He is a symbol of the Legion's strength and power. He has led my armies to victory on many occasions, and he has instilled fear into our enemies. Lanius is a true warrior, one who embodies the virtues of our Legion.
I can see why he's so respected among your soldiers. But what about his reputation for being merciless and bloodthirsty? Do you think that's a fair characterization?
Lanius is a warrior, Joe. He fights for the Legion, and he will do whatever it takes to achieve victory. He is not interested in mercy or kindness, but he is not mindless or cruel either. He understands the importance of discipline and strategy. Lanius is a valuable asset to the Legion, and I trust him to lead our forces in the Second Battle of Hoover Dam.
It's clear that Lanius is a key figure in your Legion's hierarchy. But what about your own role in the battle? Will you be leading your troops into battle, or will you be overseeing the strategy from afar?
I will be on the front lines, Joe. I am a warrior at heart, and I will fight alongside my soldiers in the battle for the Mojave. The Second Battle of Hoover Dam will be a test of strength and will, and I will not let my Legion down.
That's quite a commitment, Caesar. You're putting yourself in harm's way to achieve victory. Now, I want to ask you something, Caesar. What do you think about Mr. House and what he's done so far? I have an itch that one courier who was shot in Good Springs had something to do with him.
House is a clever man, Joe. He has survived in the Mojave Wasteland for longer than most, and he has amassed a great deal of power and wealth. But his obsession with technology and his isolationism are weaknesses. He cannot see the bigger picture. the need for a united and disciplined society. And as for the courier, well, I cannot say for certain, but it's clear that House had enemies, and it's possible that the courier was one of them.
I've heard some wild stories about House and his plans for New Vegas. What do you think his ultimate goal is?
House's ultimate goal is power, Joe. He wants to control the Mojave and its resources, to be the ruler of an independent city-state. But he underestimates the importance of ideology and culture. Without a strong foundation, his rule will be weak and short-lived. The Legion, on the other hand, has a clear vision and a strong ideology. We will create a new civilization based on the principles of order and discipline, one that will last for generations.
That's quite a pitch, Caesar. But I can see that you believe in your cause. It'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. You've spoken a lot about your own Legion and Mr. House, but what do you think about the new California Republic and their president, Kimball?
The NCR is a corrupt and bloated bureaucracy, Joe. They claim to stand for democracy and freedom, but in reality they are just a collection of greedy politicians and self-serving bureaucrats. Kimball is a weak leader who is unable to control his own government, let alone the Mojave. The NCR has no vision, no discipline, and no strength. They are a crumbling empire, and their defeat is inevitable.
That's a strong stance, Caesar. But do you think there's any hope for a peaceful resolution between your Legion and the NCR? Or is war the only answer?
War is always the last resort, Joe. But the NCR has proven time and time again that they cannot be trusted to keep their word. They have broken treaties and agreements, and they continue to expand their territory into our lands. The Legion is not a peaceful organization, but we are willing to negotiate and make deals. However, the NCR must first recognize our strength and our legitimacy.
I can understand that perspective. It's clear that there's a lot of tension and animosity between your two factions. But who do you think has the upper hand in the conflict right now, the Legion or the NCR?
The Legion, of course. We are a disciplined and well-trained army, and we have already won many battles against the NCR. They are a disorganized and poorly led force, and their soldiers lack the courage and the conviction to face us in battle. The Second Battle of Hoover Dam will be a turning point in the conflict, Joe. The Legion will emerge victorious, and the NCR will crumble beneath our feet.
Well, it sounds like you're confident in your abilities, Caesar. I wish you luck in the upcoming battle. Thanks again for joining me today.
Thank you, Joe. It was a pleasure to be here.
What was that for?
Hail the People's Republic!